Mighty Mac Week in Review. Thank you guys for tuning in. My name's Dave Molinaro. We have a busy week. It's championship week with volleyball, men's soccer, and women's soccer. Also, it's Halloween. We're going to have fun with that. But first, we're going to start with the SESAC Championships for cross country. The Mighty Mac women placed fourth at the SESAC Championships over the weekend, led by a Friday the 13th place finish by Jackie D'Amico, which gave her second team All-SESAC honors. Paul Barrett was also selected to the SESAC All-Sportsmanship team. Over to the men. The men finished ninth at the championship, with the best time coming from Nicholas Richardson in 47th place. Brendan Booth was named to the SESAC All-Sportsmanship team. Both teams will eat marathon bars and compete at the NCAA Midwest Regionals in 2 weeks. The women's soccer team hosted Cedar Crest on Thursday night, looking to lock up their first home playoff game in school history. Let's roll the tape. Prior to the game, the Mighty Mac women's soccer program honored their 9 seniors and looked to get their program record 7th SESAC victory in this season. In the waning seconds of the first half, Carrie Quigley sends this corner into the box, and after getting through a pair of players, the ball ends up on Rachel Lamb's foot, and she gives it a little Hershey kiss to the back of the net to put the Mighty Macs up 1-0 at the break. The Macs threaten for more as Carly Quigley drills his free kick from 40 yards out. It looks good, but it was a milk dud off the crossbar. The Mighty Macs couldn't score. Still nursing the 1-0 advantage, the Sour Patch Kids of Cedar Crest threaten the backup goalie Paulina Rucci, but she makes this save and preserves the 1-0 shutout to lock up a home game in the SESAC quarterfinals. The Mighty Macs are going to host the number 5 seed Gwinnett Mercy Griffins tonight at Draper Wall Stadium, 7 o'clock. Make sure you come out to that one. Costumes are encouraged. We also want to say congratulations. News came down earlier from the conference. Carly Merarkey was named honorable mention All-SESAC. Carrie Quigley was named to the second team. And Maddie Bscript was named Rookie of the Year. Congratulations to those 3. Let's continue to kick it on to men's soccer. They beat Cairn earlier in the week and needed another one. Senior Day against Marywood on Saturday to lock up the number 2 seed. Let's see how they did. Prior to the game, the men's soccer program recognized its 13 seniors for their contributions to the program and looked to move their home record to 6-1-1 on the year. We'll pick it up in the first half, where freshman Connor Lindsay sends this beautiful free kick into the box that is flicked on by Mark Stodmeyer to Kyle Sugar Daddy Jumalan, who headers it home for a 1-0 advantage. Marywood would tie the game up 1-1, and early in the second half they threatened again, but SESAC Defender of the Week and Mighty Mac of the Week Joe Lebonsky defends that net like it's his baby, Ruth, and punches it away. Still looking for the go-ahead goal, SESAC Player of the Week Nick Boulay collects this loose ball in the box and looks far post. It was a good effort, but not the best result, kind of like when your grandma gives you a Werther's Original Caramel. Boulay would not be denied, though, a second time as he gets this perfect pass from Alex Noel, beats the keeper, goes far post for the eventual game winner to give the Mighty Macs the 2-1 victory. Party in the corner, Boulay's got the Reese Cups. The quarterfinals of the SESAC are going to be on Tuesday night. The Macs do have the bye, so they're playing the waiting game. Their game is going to be Thursday at home outside Draper Wall Stadium at 7 o'clock. Make sure you come out to that one. We're joined here on today's episodes by the captains on the men's and women's soccer team here at Immaculata. We have Paulina Rucci, Pat Friend, Emma Kuntz, Alex Schuler, Kyle Jumalan, Carly Merarkey, and Joe Lebonsky. Guys, thanks for taking time out of your schedule today. No problem. It's a busy week. We have a lot of playoff games. We're going to start off with women's soccer tonight, Draper Wall Stadium, 7 o'clock. Emma, can you talk about the team, how you're getting ready for tonight's big game?
So we've been practicing all weekend to prepare for today's game. We've been focusing a lot on just our defensive and offensive techniques, and we're feeling good. We're coming into the postseason with a lot of talent, and I think we're prepared.
Mm-hmm. And it is the first home game in school history for the women's soccer team. Carly, you guys have played this team before. Can you talk about that matchup earlier this season and what you're expecting tonight?
So it was definitely an even match between the two teams. Both teams put up a good fight, but on our corner kick, Paulina, she took a stab at it and scored. So I think that we just need to come out harder, because I'm sure that they'll have revenge coming to take us down this time. So we're just going to come out real hard and fight to win.
You mentioned Paulina. We actually were accepting Twitter questions all morning. This one, and we're keeping them anonymous, was directed towards you, Peen. So it was senior day. Immaculata had 9 seniors that day. Did you expect at all, second half, you'd be in the goal? We didn't know you were a goalkeeper. Can you tell us how that happened? What happened behind the scenes?
So I was the only one who had really experience besides Bridget in goal, and I was chosen by Allie Tracy to be put in goal. So Allie was sick that night, so I had to go in at halftime.
You had no idea going into that night?
I had somewhat of an idea before the game, but I wasn't really positive that I was going to definitely get in. So that was a shock.
And I think did you have 1 save or 0? I don't know.
I had a few. Well, a few. I had like 3, because I punted it through.
You didn't let up any goals.
Yeah, I didn't let up any goals.
There you go. None went in the
I mean, I
net.
did throw it in, but yeah. I took a throw in instead of just regular throwing it.
I did see you went across the field on that one.
Yeah.
Dangerous play, but Max got the win. Good deal. We're going to switch over to the men's team. They were 7-2 in the SESAC this year, locked up the 2 seed. They have a bye on Tuesday night. We're going to host a semifinal game Thursday at 7 o'clock here at Draper Walsh Stadium against to be determined. Pat, we're going to shoot over to you. Can you talk about the season as a whole and just your 4-year journey, and it's really coming full circle now?
Yeah, the season's been great. Like you said, for the 4-year journey, when we first came in, all the captains up here are seniors. Our first year, we won 2 games total. The next year, we only won 3, so it was a pretty rough start, but we stayed with it. We all, for the most part, stuck together and had a real good year this year, and now we're looking forward to keep it going in the playoffs.
Big win on senior day. We're going to shoot up there to Kyle. You scored on your senior day. Can you talk about the feeling of that in such an important game too, since we did end up locking up the 2 seed?
Yeah. When I scored off of that header from Star and David McGregor, one, I thought finally somebody else scored a header besides Pat Frank. And then just to get an early goal like that on a tough team like Maryland was definitely a good start for us.
Now we're going to go to Joe. The Mighty Macs have been awesome this season, starting from the back and bringing it up. Obviously, we have the goal scorers. We have Nick Boulay, Alex Noel, Kyle Jumalon, Pat Friend. But it all starts in the back. We have a heavy senior back line with you, Pat, Alec, and also Matt Dunn, who couldn't be with us today. But can you talk about that back line core group, because you guys have been together for a long time?
Yeah, I mean, the 4 of us have pretty much, like you said, we've played 4 years together, so we definitely gel really well, and I think that's a main cause for how well we play back there, is we've been playing together for so long. We pretty much know what each other wants to do with the ball.
And then a couple Twitter questions for the men's soccer team as well. We'll go to Alec. Are there any superstitions or any weird things going on? Specifically, they said food, drink, any haircuts, beards, anything like that. Any quirkiness going into the playoffs?
I mean, we always got our playoff beards going. And there's a little bit, I don't know who's doing it, but there's a Red Bull streak going. Ever since a couple guys who started drinking some Red Bulls, we're 7-1. So I think we got to keep doing that. I wouldn't mention any names who's drinking though.
They're a sponsor for the show. Thank you. And then Pat Wendup, one more Twitter question. How is the team going to prepare for practice this week? Does it vary at all, knowing, semifinal game, but you don't know who you're playing? So does practice vary at all?
No, I don't think so. I think it doesn't really matter who we're going to play. We're going to practice hard the next couple of days, and then Wednesday kind of relax a little bit more, prepare, have a pregame practice, and then get ready for Thursday night.
I did run into Coach Joe Clementi earlier today, and I asked him that question because he was curious what some of the Twitter questions were, and he smiled and said PKs.
Oh,
You think that's going to come into play? Tough semifinal game?
I hope not, but we'll be ready if they do.
We'll see. And then we're going to end it all around the circle. Favorite Halloween candy? Peen?
Kit Kats.
Skittles.
Probably Skittles, yeah.
Twizzlers.
Butterfinger.
The cookies that have the ghosts on them.
The cut and bake ones, like giant?
Reese's.
Okay. Frozen or Reese's Pieces or cups?
Cups are Reese's.
And then also, anyone in their younger years have any funny Halloween costumes?
Schuler told me one time that he was Soulja Boy in 7th grade. And I think Chewbacca 2 years ago.
It's not true at all.
All right, that's going to be it for this group interview. So we have the girls' game tonight, 7 o'clock at Draper Walsh Stadium. You can follow that one online on GoMuddyMax.com. Better if you come out to the stadium. Men are going to be on Thursday, 7 o'clock. To be determined. Don't know who we're playing yet. But good luck, guys. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
The Immaculata volleyball team needed one more win in their final 2 matches to lock up their 3rd straight playoff appearance, and they did work against the Cyclones, defeating them 3-0 last week to clinch the playoff spot and look to improve their seeding against Cabrini on senior night, led by Tess Kiefer, Molly Truitt, and Kit Kat Devaney, but the Max did fall 3-0. They will be the number 6 seed and travel to Newman on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. in the SESAC quarterfinals. We're joined here in studio today by Molly Truitt, the senior libero for the Mighty Max volleyball team. Molly, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
So earlier this week, we just celebrated your senior day. It was you, Kathleen Devaney, and Tess Kiefer, the 3 seniors for the volleyball team. Can you tell us some of the thoughts going through your head as that was your final game on campus?
So it was very upsetting. The underclassmen definitely has made it into the biggest day. Obviously it was our last game. It was kind of upsetting for me. It was like my home for the past 4 years, same with Tess, and the first year for Kathleen. So it was very emotional, but at the same time it was very fun. The girls did a great job on the signs, decorating the gym, and then also just having the atmosphere of having so many fans in the stands for our last game was great.
Yeah, it was a good atmosphere. And that's going to continue. More big games to come. We did make the playoffs. 3rd straight year for the Mighty Max. You guys are doing pretty well. Made it to the semifinals the last 2 years. Can you talk about kind of your approach this time being your final season heading into the playoffs?
So all the teams that we're going to face, no matter what, is very tough. Very difficult. They're very great, strong teams, but we also are too. They're all very beatable as well. And we just got to prepare, come out the way that we've been coming out with, like, strong, but then we just got to execute a little bit more on the points that do matter. So that's pretty much it.
You mentioned tough teams. We do have to travel. We are the 6th seed, travel to Newman tomorrow night?
Yes.
Correct. What time is that so the fans know?
7.
7 o'clock at Newman, the Miranda Center. Can you tell us about how specifically you're preparing for Newman, since we did see them earlier this year?
So a couple of things that happened at Newman. They had changed the libero from position 5 to a different position, so she was in a different side of the court. So we're going to adjust that way as well, if they're going to go back to her in that position or change it back. We also have to serve a lot tougher. When we played against them before, our serves were a little bit on the weaker side, so we'll just have to make sure that the errors are staying on our side, on their side, and not ours as well. And then also making sure that we're covering. They do have very strong, big blocks in the front row, so we just have to make sure we cover.
7 o'clock tomorrow night at Newman. Make sure you go out and support the women's volleyball team. Molly, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Field hockey team needed a win against Cabrini this weekend to clinch their first playoff berth since 2014. Let's see how they did. In the first half of a scoreless game, the Mighty Max get the counterattack after a defensive stop, and Colleen Bradley sends it into the middle where Meg Donegan hits the one-timer off the side, Mr. Goodbar. Now trailing 1-0, the Cavaliers were on the attack as they get a free look at the net, but Sarah Pasternak didn't eat Butterfingers this morning, made the great save, one of her 14 on the day with the blocker to keep the Mighty Max within a goal. Trailing 3-1 late in the game, the Mighty Max were not going away as Lane Kennedy collects the loose ball and finds the back of the net for her 4th goal of the season, but the comeback was all trick, no treat. The Max lost 3-2. So let's go over the list of this week. Tonight, out at Draper Walsh Stadium again, as I said, 7 o'clock, the women's soccer team hosting Gwinnett Mercy in the SESAC quarterfinal matchup. Tuesday night, the volleyball team's going to be on the road at Newman for the quarterfinals. On Thursday, the men are going to host a semifinal soccer game at 7 o'clock, opponent to be determined. Again, you can follow, you're already on the website, GoMuddyMax.com for updates. Also, the Twitter account at IUMuddyMax for score updates throughout the week. It's going to be a good one. Everyone going out tonight, have a happy, safe, fun Halloween. Save the Reese Cups for me. I'll catch you next time on Mighty Mac Week in Review. My name's Dave Molinaro, and go Max.